Hey, what's up, y'all? This is Rodney, and I'm back, and I wanted to go ahead and give my review over Real Housewives Ultimate Girls Trip. I know I'm kind of late with this review, so I'm just going to talk about what happened in the episode. It may kind of be out of order with some of the things that I mentioned, but I think at the end of the review, girl, you will understand what I've said. Okay, so basically, it's day 6. I think the next episode, or at least I'm assuming the next episode, will be the last episode because I think the next episode might be the last episode. I don't know. But it's day 6. The episode starts off with basically Melissa and Kyle in the confessional. Melissa basically lets us know that she's the type of girl that, I think for a lot of people, when they drink wine, it could do one or two things. Either you turn up or either you get sleepy. For me, I could go either way. Either I could get sleepy or baby, I could be ready to, head out and get into the streets. Kenya is on the phone with her aunt, and she's basically telling her aunt that she had to curse a helper out, right? It started off, she, called me out of my name, and then she cursed me out, so I pretty much had to let loose on her, right? Melissa tells Kyle in the confessional that she felt like Cynthia was reaching the night before. The night before, they kind of got into an argument, Cynthia and Ramona, about the whole makeup artist situation. In my honest opinion, even though we're going to get into Cynthia in a little bit, I do feel like, from what I remember, that Cynthia wasn't necessarily wrong about the way that Ramona kind of moved with the makeup artist. Cynthia wants to try and have better energy for the day. So she's outside alone, just chilling by herself, just laying down, eyes closed, just trying to refocus. She said she hasn't been as close to the girls as she would think. Let me just go ahead and get Cynthia out of the way. Okay. I think that Cynthia is used to Kenya being on the outskirts of the group, right? In Atlanta, that she probably already had in her head that I'm going to have to be the one that basically rescues Kenya or has to explain Kenya in her ways to the other group. But now we come to see that Kenya is pretty much like the homecoming queen. Remember when Kenya remember at Kenya More Hair Care, remember at Marlo's wig party or whatever, when Kenya came in with the band and everybody surrounded Kenya like, she was the homecoming queen, right? Remember Portia was all on the floor hollering and screaming, and then after that, girl, they surrounded Kenya, Marlo got jealous. That's how it reminds me of that moment. Like Kenya, everybody's pretty much flocking to Kenya. Everybody loves Kenya. And I think Cynthia has a problem with it. Cynthia is jealous that Kenya has hit it off with the other girls, right? Do I understand, again, the whole game situation with Cynthia? Like Kenya could have had her back more, but I also felt like Kenya was on some when in Rome, do as the Romans do. These white girls don't move like we move, girl. Yeah, we all think we bad. You know what I'm saying? So everybody gonna think they cute and pretty, but girl, we can't play those type of games and ask those type of questions amongst this group of women, right? So I understood Cynthia's side, but I also understood Kenya. And I think that because Kenya probably knows how to move amongst these women, that's probably why she's hitting it off with these women. Instead of Cynthia trying to, I guess, not necessarily be fake and change who you are, but girl, as we saw in the episode, Cynthia is pretty much kind of just sitting in the background. Like she's really not even making an effort from what I see to even try and, have fun with the ladies. Girl, join in on the conversation, right? Start the conversation. I think that she said like Melissa was like when Melissa told her that Kenya told her that she was jealous. Kenya wasn't lying, girl. You have been jealous. You were jealous of Melissa and Kenya's, relationship. Even from that small comment that Cynthia made on the yacht, the boat, whatever it was, when Kenya asked her to take a picture, she said something like, "Are you not gonna ask Melissa?" It was something like along those lines. You could tell that Cynthia felt some type of way about the friendship that she has created with Melissa, not just Kyle. Like, I really think that while people are trying to make Kenya out to be this horrible friend to Cynthia, I don't think that's what it is. I've already told y'all what I thought about the game and all that stuff. So Luann she thanks Kenya. I guess this trip, I don't know, because I don't really watch New York like that. But, from what I understand, Ramona being a bitch. You know what I'm saying? So for whatever reason, I guess it's taking this trip for, the blinders to be taken, to be taken off of Luann and for her to see kind of like Ramona is who Ramona is. And that she's been giving her a pass for a very long time. So I guess because the other women have this new group of women have bumped heads with Ramona, and then you have Kenya who, at this point, she ain't letting up off of Ramona's neck. So I guess that's what it is with Luann. Mauricio is in town on business. Ramona, she came out apologizing to Cynthia. Cynthia was basically like, "Girl, what do you want? Girl, I'm out here like, girl, trying to refocus and try to get myself together for the day, and here you come." Girl, when I tell you, when Kenya was running across that driveway to get in that other car, Kyle swaps cars with Luann because Luann didn't want to be in the car with Ramona. So basically, didn't nobody want to be in the car with Ramona. Well, Kenya and not nobody. Kenya and Luann didn't want to be in the car with Ramona. But they started talking about Cameo. Girl, they charge $125 for Cameo. I think that's where you get to have, I think they call you or something like that. Girl, Luann says that she makes Kenya said that Luann makes 6 figures off Cameo. Girl. Teresa tells her to up the price. Do you think she should up the price? Girl, that's how people start losing money, because you start getting greedy. I think Kenya and Luann was basically like, no. Like, girl, $125, girl, leave it. Like, girl, you gonna get greedy and lose people because you're trying to up the price, right? I think she should keep the price the same. Because sometimes, again, when people see that people can see when you start, okay, this bitch charging more money. Okay, girl, she got me hooked up. Okay? Cynthia talks to the girls on the way. It looked like Melissa was like, girl, this bitch talking, girl. I did not feel like hearing her talk. Girl, the girls are really not seeing it for Cynthia, girl. The girls are not seeing it for Cynthia. Cynthia, girl, girl, I think probably over in Atlanta, everybody has their role, right? We know everybody has their role in Atlanta. Cynthia, I guess, was supposed to be the one who was kind of level-headed, we already know Kenya had the role of I was going to say the vixen. Come on, vixen. The villain. Portia was the dumb blonde, Candy the business. So everybody has their roles, but I don't think on this show, I don't think anybody has a role. It's just kind of like, we're going to put these women here and let them do what they do, right? Cynthia says she's upset with Kenya. They have one day left, and she doesn't know if their friendship will be the same. Girl, Cynthia. Again, I understand that you were upset about that game, but baby, it was a game. Girl, it was a game. That's it. For you to have this strong, this revelation about your friendship with Kenya, based off basically of your jealousy, and that Kenya is getting along with these girls and you're not, I think is crazy as hell. I don't think Michael likes Ramona. Ramona would be the type of person, I could see Ramona having a staff and them hating her guts. Girl, you keep calling this man name. Girl, that man can't do nothing about the depth of that ocean, okay? Girl, he can't do nothing about that. Girl, why are you done called this man name 5 times. And you can tell that she's getting on his nerves. Okay? Like, Ramona, damn. Luann pulls Ramona to the side. This is, in my honest opinion, at this point, girl, like I said, I never really got into New York, but Ramona is 65, y'all. Ramona is 65 years old. This whole pulling Ramona to the side to have conversations with her about the way that she moves, her behavior, the things that she says is pointless at this point. Either you're going to deal with the helper or either you're not. And then you could tell that Ramona really doesn't give 2 flying fucks, because when she comes back to the table, it's, you know, how's the conversation? Oh, you know, I need to work on the way I talk to people. I need to work on how I treat people. I need to work on what I say. I need to make sure that I don't drink. What else? Yeah, that's it. That's how she reported. That's how she came back when they asked about the conversation. That's how she responded to them. That's how you know Ramona doesn't give a care. She's just basically repeating if you have a conversation with her, what's the problem? Okay, this is my problem. Okay, I'm going to work on that. Okay, I'm going to work on my drinking. I'm going to make sure I treat people with respect. Okay, and what's for dinner? Cal tells the story of when her and Mauricio were smashing at the party. I will say this much. Besides Cal being messy as hell on Real Housewives of Beverly Hills and being sneaky and using, what's her, I'm going to call her Sloan. Not Sloan. Sloan is my niece. What's her name? Sutton. And besides her basically using Sutton to get answers to questions that she really wanted to know, Cal really is a funny person. Like, she does seem like she would be a real good time to hang out with. Anyway, so she tells a story about, when her and Mauricio was smashing at the party, and she was like, okay, I'm done. Ramona wants people to wear rhinestones or something on their face. I could have told her, but Kenya not going for that. Now these other helpers, Cynthia didn't look, Cynthia is going to try to give you some bad. That's one thing Cynthia is going to do, girl. I'm going to rock anything. I didn't think Cynthia looked bad. I thought it was cute, but it's just kind of like, girl, ain't nobody like walking around here with no rhinestones in the middle of their forehead, But Cynthia is really jealous. Cynthia is crazy. She's really not trying to even have a conversation. Like literally at the table, everybody was laughing and talking. She was just sitting there. Like, girl, I get, you gonna have to, force yourself in on the conversation, girl. Anyways, I put, who is Thorn? Baby Thorn? Baby, hey Thorn, how you doing? So Kenya. I don't care what none of y'all say. Kenya had me in here hollering. When I tell you, she was embarrassing the dog out of Ramona. So she starts the conversation with, Ramona. I ain't gonna say Ramona and John have a thing, because I don't think they do. I just think that's someone who she knows. And maybe they were, I don't know, maybe they tried to date at one point. I don't think it's ever really been set in stone, because I think that was her first time seeing John. Is his name John or David? I think it's John. That was her first time seeing John. She said in 5 or 6 years. And if they really wanted to see each other, I'm sure buying a plane ticket to New York or, Turks and Caicos, is that what it's called? It wouldn't be an issue. So anyways, girl. Like Teresa said, she called Kenya a B. She said F you. Now Kenya is really saying F you, girl. I tell you, Kenya was like, do y'all want to hear a story? So, what, girl, when I tell you, the simple fact that Kenya was being messy as hell at that table with a smile plastered across her face. Girl, Oh, girl, you know what? She started telling the story about basically what happened the day before. Because John made a comment about them getting along and liking each other. And they were just like, ooh, basically like, girl, you ain't been here, so you don't know what's going on. So Kenya took that and was like, well, you know, yesterday Ramona said this, and they said she even tried to blackmail Luann at one point. Girl. See, that's what happens. When you see, you never know. Like Marlo, when she made that comment about Kenya and her mama, girl, Kenya came blasting through that, blasting through her event. Kenya, boy, hey, Cassie, Ramona, you wasn't expecting Kenya to do that, right? Girl, so her Luann over there cutting up. Girl, then it came up with this plan for Luann to go over and flirt with John. Baby, at the end of the day, John took Luann's number down. Ramona, I guess before the night ended, Ramona kind of saw what was going on. You could tell that people were uncomfortable at the table, but girl, they were probably still entertained, right? Y'all heard Mauricio with his messy ass talking about before Kenya started telling the story about what happened the day before. We both want to hear. Shut your messy ass up, Mauricio. Your fine ass. Shit, damn. Ooh. Girl, can you go get what you want? Go find you one of them Italian boys. Girl, let me shut up. I know Mauricio not Italian. I remember Kenya saying, I remember Melissa telling Kenya she needs to get her an Italian man or something like that. Anyways, that was pretty much the end of the episode. It was cute. I was hollering my ass off at Kenya. Girl, when she was being messy at that table with that smile across her face, girl, she was making Ramona so uncomfortable, girl. Anyways, all right, I'm about to watch Love and Marriage Huntsville. That's probably not going to be up tonight. It will definitely be up tomorrow, and I will talk to you girls later. Bye.